Well, we weren't quite expecting this. So for the past few days, it's been pretty rainy, and we made our way north a little bit from where we were in Vegas, and we decided on our way north, we're gonna stop off at Death Valley National Park. And fun fact, if you didn't know, that park sees around 2, maybe 3 inches a year of rain. And of course, when we were there, they saw an entire inch. So for the past 2 days, it's been kind of drizzling, raining the entire time. And we were expecting it to stop. It wasn't supposed to go on this long, but we still find ourselves here in the rain once again. So I'm not sure how much stuff we're gonna be doing outside today as we continue to make our way north, but we are heading towards Reno to visit some friends and see some snow, which kind of sounds hypocritical because I know we did tell you guys that we were ditching the snow this year, but they were getting plenty of snow this past few days, and we decided, let's go up there and see some epic snow.
What's been happening with our door?
No idea. There's got to be a leak somewhere up here, but I don't know why it just came all of a sudden. But we just figured out this, so.
Oh my gosh, it just keeps coming. I opened my door and I was like, this door is heavy and filled with water. Okay. Last night we stayed in the little town of Beatty, which is really, really small. And we ended up just staying parked right outside the road there. So there was a little bit of traffic last night, but not too bad. There was another spot that we drove by last night, which seemed a lot more quiet and peaceful. But with how much rain there is, we figured there was probably a good chance that we could get stuck. So we decided to skip out on that. But before we drive north, we're actually right next to something called Rhyolite. I think I'm pronouncing that right, and it's an old ghost town just a couple minutes away, so we figured we'd check that out before we can continue on.
Safe to say this place is definitely a ghost town. Nobody here except the other people who are kind of checking it out, and I'm actually quite surprised there are people out here. But it's just cool driving around town and seeing cool stuff like this, or like that building you guys just saw. Super interesting. I kind of wish we could go in them. Like I saw the bank and I was like, man, it'd be cool to see what like the bank vault looked like, but it's all fenced off, unfortunately.
So a little background on Rhyolite Ghost Town. It came about in 1905 when different miners came here, and there was believed to be about 3,500 to 5,000 residents living here at the time. And then by 1920, actually everyone moved and left. So it's pretty short-lived, but it's cool to see that after all these years, a lot of the structures still stand. A lot of them don't have much left, but it is really still cool to see. This was the bank Grayson was talking about. It'd be really, really cool to go in there and check it out, but there are fences around it, so we'll just admire it from here. That bottle house was so cool. Apparently back in the day it cost about $2,500 to build that house, which is super cheap. I doubt it'd be that cheap anymore, but I've never seen a bottle house before, didn't even know it was a thing, and I guess there's only a couple left in the United States. So that was really cool to see. But the ghost town was right back there, and as you're driving out there's a sign that says free museum. So we decided we'd stop here and just see what it's all about. There's a bunch of structures outside. It's not really anything inside, but we're just gonna walk around and see what we see before getting back in the car and driving a little further.
absolutely love the desert, but this is like such a desert thing. It's very eerie and just a bunch of weird stuff. I don't want to say weird because it sounds mean, but this is like something you would just typically see. Like that little thing over there has the Joann's on it or whatever. Like what? Who put a concrete thing, like for what? And I wish this little building was open to give us a little more context as to what some of this is. But unfortunately it's not. And so we're just letting our minds wander, and it's pretty interesting.
From here to the Reno area, which is where we're going, it's about 5 hours, which is definitely doable to drive in a day. But I think we're going to take 2 days since there are a few things we want to see along the path. And also with the rain and potentially driving into snow, driving conditions might be a little iffy. So I guess we'll just see as we go how the roads are.
Every time that my mind slip, I just see my past life. Having dreams in a dream, I wonder why I carried on with the things that made you lose your mind. There's no way I can undo what I've done. Can we be strangers again, start fresh like a morning? What's so bad about that? So why won't you follow? Why won't you follow me home? I know I can't make you mine. Yes, I ran out of town. There's no hope for me.
We made it to the International Car Forest, and already I can tell it's going to be super interesting. We've parked the car because, as you can tell, it has started to snow quite a bit, and it doesn't look like any tracks have gone up this way. So we've parked and we're going to walk and check it out. But this car forest actually took a decade to build. There's over 40 cars here, which you'll see as we walk around, and some of them are sticking out of the ground. It's really interesting, so it should be fun.
We haven't walked too far from the car and the snow is absolutely dumping down on us, but this place is so crazy. There's literally buses and different cars just with their noses buried down, or their front ends of them buried down into the ground. And I'm pretty sure this started back in 2002. And it's definitely a crazy sight. And you're allowed to graffiti here, so you can tell there's a lot of graffiti on it. You're allowed to tag it. We don't have any spray paint and we're not really into that, but it's definitely cool to, you know, walk around and check out what other people have done or written or sprayed on here. Just a little example, this is the same bus that I was showing you from the outside that was in the background. People tag this entire bus. This is the inside. And so I don't know how people got up there. Maybe they took the windows and climbed up, but all the way to the top of the roof or ceiling of the bus, there's tagging and spray painting. And this is just one vehicle.
So much snow to 5 minutes later, no snow, back to rain.
Hey, I heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.
The sun has come out a little bit, and with the snow it is so bright, so I'm having a hard time keeping my eyes open. But as we were driving through this little place called Tonopah, we saw this clown, what is it, a clown motel, and we saw that there's a sign that says there's a gift shop and it's world famous. So of course we had to come and check it out and see what it's all about.
Welcome. How you doing? Alright, well that was an interesting stop between the gift store and their storage units. They supposedly have over 5,600 clowns, and they have like sculptures and dolls and shirts and just a bunch of different things that are purchased by them and donated, as well as the original owner's collection of clown stuff. So when he died, he was actually a miner. This was his hotel that he had his mining buddies and people that worked in the mine stay at. He died in a mine fire. His kids took it over and took his clown collection and put it in the gift shop and just around the hotel, and renamed it the Clown Motel to further on his legacy. And they say this place is haunted. There's a cemetery right next door, so I guess like the spirits supposedly travel over here. It's kind of whatever you believe in, but he did make one of the things move in there. He was like, "You're with us, right, clown?" And like the thing moved. It was super crazy. I don't know if they like staged that or what that was, but I did see it, and Ashley saw it too. But we're gonna continue on, making our way through the snowstorm, find camp for the night, and make our way to Reno tomorrow.
We're pulling up to camp for the night, and as you can tell, it is super dark, but after driving through snow and rain on and off, we've made it to where we're staying for the night, or we're about to pull into where we're staying for the night. And we actually drove a little bit further than expected. We're only an hour and a half from Reno, which will make tomorrow a lot less driving. So that will be nice, and we'll show you where we're staying tomorrow.
Last night we just stayed at a rest stop that had an 18-hour limit, and we didn't originally plan to do this. We pulled into a abandoned movie theater, and we saw that there was another camper there, which is always, you know, perfectly fine. It is like public place for people to stay, but the condition the camper was in, it honestly looked like somebody was living there at this abandoned movie theater. So just from our best judgment, we were like, let's probably not stay here. And we drove 5 minutes up the road and stayed at this rest stop instead. But this morning, it is so blue outside and sunny and beautiful, but it's freezing. And so we got a little bit more driving to do today. We're about an hour away from our final destination.
After a long drive, we have made it to Reno. It has been a while since we've done a long drive, so it was kind of fun going through the Nevada desert and driving in places we haven't been before, seeing things we haven't seen before, and seeing the mountains and the hills and the snow and the rain, and today sunshine. It's just been all the weather and it's been pretty fun, and we just wanted to thank you guys for coming along with us, and we'll see you next time.